one of the most democratic gatherings on record, the Capitol's annual Jackson Day Dinner, with the President, Jack Garner, and Jim Farley hugely enjoying the occasion along with other Democratic leaders. After the dinner, the President carefully avoids third-term comment, but calls for party unity and then joshes the Republicans a bit.
A week ago, Homer Cummings invited 3 distinguished leaders of the opposition to come to this banquet. A $10 dinner with all the fixings free. No cover charge, no $100 check, no tips, nothing to sign and nothing to join, and a free ringside seat at a non-political plateside chat. Believe it or not, they sent polite regrets. And why? Maybe it was because they figured that we just wanted to fatten up the ducks, and that we were putting on a closed season in January merely in order to get better sport next fall.
A yacht arrives from Nassau. A fair lady has a toothache, and it turns into an international incident. Of course, the lady being the Duchess of Windsor. That explains everything. It's the first time in years that either she or her husband, the former King of England, have been in the United States, and their arrival causes a near riot in Miami. The Duke is now Governor General of the Bahamas. His lady has a painful wisdom tooth, and that means an operation. We don't envy her a bit. A new swimming pool at the Dempsey Vanderbilt Hotel is dedicated to the memory of Tex Rickard by Jack Dempsey, assisted by as pretty a bevy of bathing beauties as ever graced a ring or poolside. After the ceremony, Jack's ready to call it a day, but oh no, say the pretty maids, and forthwith he gets a proper dunking. It turns into a battle royale with the odds against the Manasseh Mauler, but he can take it. And the pool is officially open to the public, including a few high divers that'll try anything once. William Green of the American Federation of Labor.
We say to our government, show us what you want us to do and we will do it. If any sacrifices are necessary, show us why they are necessary, and we will cheerfully agree to them. We are with you to the finish. That is the policy of the American Federation of Labor.
Philip Murray, new head of the CIO.
CIO has offered a program to the government providing for a complete reorganization of the entire administrative functionings of the Defense Administration. This plan, we hope, will provide employment for hundreds of thousands of men now idle and walking the streets. It will also provide for more accelerated production of defense goods and a more efficient administration of the entire defense program.
Just for the moment, these lads from Canada are doing a spot of foot slugging, but their real job is flying. They are an early contingent of airmen from the Dominion. This pilot officer transferred from the Canadian Navy to join this useful crowd, which includes 12 commissioned officers and 25 NCOs, all trained as observers. Another pilot officer is an Irish Canadian, while the sergeant observer is an American who enlisted in Canada. One of the pilot officers is a Czech. He escaped from his own country to America and thence across into the Dominion to continue to fight for retrieving his oppressed homeland. These are but a few of the men who will eventually turn the scale of numerical air superiority in Britain's favor. Everybody seemed at ease with nothing on their minds. Some of the fellows were dissipating via a wild game of darts. Others were doing heavy duty by writing letters to maiden aunts, or light duty by writing to maidens who weren't aunts, until one different moment. An order was rapped out and the atmosphere of ease vanished. Everything began to move at once, and all towards one object, the approaching enemy planes. Good luck, chaps, good hunting, and happy landings.
We have 2 cones, please? And I like a diamond change, too.
Are you saving them, Mickey?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give mine to President Roosevelt.
The president? Why, Mickey?
Yes, you see, Judy, I've got my envelope made out right here. It's all ready to go. See for yourself.
Oh, I know. That's a March of Dimes, the Infantile Paralysis Fund.
That's right. And, Judy, when I spend a dime on myself for some little luxury like this, I always think about those unfortunate kids and how far just a dime will go toward helping.
Gee, Mickey, we don't know how lucky we are and how much we have to be thankful for with our health and our happiness.
Judy, and that's why we should do all that we can to help all of those who can't help themselves.
I know. Can I put a dime in your envelope?
Oh, you know that you can. And that's what every good American should do. Join the March of Dimes. Send yours to President Franklin Roosevelt in the White House.
Washington, D.C.
Bathing beauties hold a colorful dress rehearsal in the Hotel New Yorker for the vacation season along the southern sands this winter. These swanky rubber suits with tricky aquafluor decorations and accessories provide an interesting preview. The swimsuits have been carefully created to enhance the figure, and the seams have been scientifically designed and reinforced to prevent the possibility of ripping. After seeing how attractive rubber can be in bathing suit form, it's no wonder that nations are willing to fight over the world's rubber supply. Yes, sir, take it from me. The American crop of peaches at the beaches promises to be lovelier than ever. If you thought women's hats were the word last year, just risk an eye at these new designs for spring. With ideas for attracting masculine attention at a premium this season, it seems some of the girls are letting leap year go to their heads. Feminine charm in bizarre settings, shapes and colors to fit every face.
On behalf of our editors and our 4 million readers, for your distinguished contribution to the art of the motion picture during often that when the sports writers refer to the Davis Cup, the public will think.
In accepting it, I am conscious again of the great debt I owe to press and public, both of which have accepted my efforts in a most kind and friendly manner. To Mr. Edwin Balmer, the editor of Red Book, to Mr. Valdemar Lubin, and to you, my sincere thanks.
Hollywood stars arrive for the premiere of the new Western epic Santa Fe Trail. Rita Hayworth, Errol Flynn, and a host of others. But Old Man Weather's no movie fan, and this snowstorm canceled some of the plans. But it offered the film folk an unexpected diversion, a good snow fight. Fun on the ski slide, too, and some are pretty good. Errol Flynn needs a little help getting on the darn things, but sallies forth to battle, and battle it is, but he makes it. That's all you can ask of him. Around the clock with Tootsies on parade, and it's apparent to the most casual observer that feminine footwear for the coming season will cause the sterner sex to drop their eyes, in appreciation at any rate. Sandals, wedges, slack shoes, and more sandals, designed by Delman to fit every taste and every mood. The There was a time when a shoe was a shoe, but no more, brother. Now they're the last word in decoration, and Daddy foots the bill. A footing finish. (1940), a year of terror and misery for millions in Europe and elsewhere. Spring saw Norway and Denmark added to the Nazi realm of conquered peoples as the war suddenly flared into action. The Battle of Narvik proved again the valor of the British Navy. The British later withdrew from Narvik and all other bases along the far north coast, leaving little Norway under the iron heel of the Germans. On the fateful 10th of May, Germany unleashed her minions in all-out war, a new type of warfare, whole companies and battalions of death from the skies pouring down on Holland and Belgium without cause, wholesale bombings of cities and innocent civilians without mercy. The Low Countries and northern France reduced to a shambles, and their people turned into terror-stricken refugees, innocents crucified in the new Nazi blitzkrieg of total war. The Nazi threat against England gathered force during the summer. Bombing raids on British convoys and Channel coastal points became more daring. Showers of bombs dogged every freighter or naval craft plying Britain's eastern waters, but few of them reached their mark. The British Air Force gave a good account of itself, and many a Nazi bomber came to grief when a Spitfire got on its tail. Later in the summer, though, the Nazis bombed London and other cities. Since then, by day and by night, Britain has suffered untold destruction and loss of life from German air raids. The British people, from their sovereigns on down, bear their losses stoically, hopeful of the day when Britain can gain control of the air. The recent complete air raid destruction of Coventry marked the beginning of a new and more terrible phase in German raiding technique. With the prospect of more aid from abroad, however, Britain carries on. "50 overage American destroyers were released to Britain in exchange for bases in this hemisphere to help fight the increased tempo of U-boat and bombing plane attacks on British shipping. The U.S. also stepped up the flow of planes to England. President Franklin D. Roosevelt signs America's first peacetime draft, an epical step in our national defense. Secretary of War Stimson drew the first capsule that started the wheels rolling to provide the U.S. with an army of 2 million men. Also, a $5 billion rearmament program to build warplanes, tanks, guns, and warships. America's answer to threats of aggression from abroad. Back in June 1940, the Republican Convention started the nation off on its traditional hysteria of the presidential election. Yes, he put up a great fight, but on Election Day, Wendell Willkie met the champ. Election night crowds forgot the war as the return swept President Roosevelt back into office. He won his third-term fight, and the election bitterness has faded from the national scene. The president soon faced demands for a speed-up of arms for Britain and the United States.
Day by day, the mortgage on our children's future is growing larger. The most taxed group in a much taxed country is our children. Every day the New Deal is piling up new bills against them. And every night when we tuck them into bed, they owe $11 million more than when they got up in the morning. We used to say enviously, youth, the world is yours. But now the New Deal says, oh no, the world is ours. We'll squeeze it dry and walk out on the next generation. They can pay the check.
We of this hemisphere have no need to seek a new international order. We have already found it. In this association of nations, whoever touches any one of us touches us all. We have only asked that the world go with us in the path of peace. But we shall be able to keep that way open only if we are prepared to meet force with force if challenge is ever made against us. We are determined to live in peace and to make that peace secure. We are determined to follow the path of free peoples to a civilization worthy of free men.
The Army's Provisional Tank Brigade passes in review. Concentrated here for 4 months of intensive battle training, the mechanized monsters, 275 of them, go into action in mass attack. In a realistic assault against enemy trenches filled with machine gun nests, the tanks show how they run interference for the doughboys in the teamwork of the combined arms. Dodging anti-tank guns, as well as low-flying attack planes, the tanks plow on, knocking out machine guns that might hold up the infantry. Not even water stops them, especially this group, which hails from Miller Field, New York, right across the bay from Coney Island. Thick woods will stop most tanks, but not these woods or these tanks. Night fighting is not for tanks, so back they go to their assembly points while the rest of the Army carries on. A spectacular show in the American way. Pro football at its wildest. Osmanski of the Chicago Bears, in the first minute of play, barges his way through the Washington Redskins for 68 yards. The Bears take a rest in the second quarter, scoring only once. And this is the play that does it. Luckman's pass to Kavanaugh in the end zone. The hapless Redskins have no luck at all. A pass by Baugh is snared by Poole, and the overworked scoreboardman has to push him up again, while the Washington Rooters give up the ghost. The Bears are certainly on a rampage. Around end, off tackle, or through guard, it's all the same to the Bears. Nolting carries it through for another score. And to think, the Redskins recently beat the Bears 7-3. Today, even their passes are good for Chicago scores 73-0. It's simply unbelievable. A record crowd of 75,000 at Santa Anita today sees racing history made by Seabiscuit. Even movie stars Clark Gable and Carole Lombard are on hand. The crowd is with Seabiscuit right from the start.
There they go to a perfect start. At the break, it's Specify going to the front. The Wedding Call is second on the rail. Whitsey is third and moving up between horses. Seabiscuit is fourth. On the outside, Don Mike is second, and Royal Crusader is going up very fast in the middle of the track, coming by the stand the first time. It's Seabiscuit in front by a head. Whitsey is second and now going to the front on the inside by a neck. Into the first turn, it's Whitsey in front by 1 length. Seabiscuit is second on the outside by a head. Specify is third. On the extreme outside, Kayak is making his move, and Don Mike is moving from far back. Length, and Kayak is now fourth and flying under pressure on the outside. In the stretch, it's Seabiscuit forwards into the front. Kayak is second on the outside, and Whitsey on the rail. It's Seabiscuit and Kayak. It's Seabiscuit under the whip. Now they're coming across the line of finish, and it's Seabiscuit a winner by a length and a quarter. Kayak is second by 1 length. Whitsey is third. War formation.
Basketball at its big-time best with the Oklahoma Aggies tangling with the CCNY Beavers, and it's early blood for the Aggies. Madison Square Garden is jammed with big city fans who love their basketball red hot. Floyd of the Aggies keeps things steaming for his team. The boys from out West Way have things pretty much their own way until City College gets going with a vengeance. Here's a score for CCNY. This battle has everything the fans demand: speed, action, and little sleight of hand that brings immediate action from referee Pat Kennedy. Boy, can he tell 'em. CCNY comes right back, however, and sets up another goal, and a honey. A beauty, all right, but it can't turn the tide. The Aggies go on to win 32-24. The tennis world was not surprised to see Alice Marble, 3 times national champ, gain her 4th national title by taking the year's championship match in 2 straight sets from her oft-time rival, Helen Jacobs. The victory for Miss Marble won her the title of the nation's outstanding woman athlete. And now she's turned pro. 1940 in baseball. Yes, sir, the Yankees fell from their pinnacle, and the National League came back into its own. The Cincinnati Reds did it, winning the final game in the World Series against Hank Greenberg and the Detroit Tigers. The Reds outdid themselves against the Tigers, winning the deciding game 2-1, with Paul Derringer starring on the mound. Cincinnati's first World Series in 20 years. Brother, that was a series. A new quick suntan treatment was introduced in Miami Beach, where the motto now is oil 'em and boil 'em. The girls were tested with a light meter to record the effect of the sun rays on their delicate skins. On the grill, the girls are toasted lightly over a simmering flame to aid the sun in getting a quick tan. Here, they are sprayed with a special suntan lotion to soothe their skins before being hung on a line to be sprayed again and allowed to dry off. It's Friday the 13th, but walking under ladders is just bunk. 13 members of the Friday the 13th Club tell us. That also goes for black cats, 13 at a table, and so forth. Superstition is all the bunk, they say. And JoJo says, me too. This year's luncheon is at the Philly Zoo, and when JoJo quenches his thirst, the real fun begins. The hour approaches. Broken mirrors, and now 3 on a match. This monkey business is too much for me. I'm superstitious.
This is a remarkable family. 4 consecutive twin births within 4 years. It is also unique in the fact that we have a boy and a girl each time. As far as I know, it establishes a record.
Yes, it has, but we're very thankful that the children is in wonderful health and that I'm really proud. And that is to say that the struggles we've gone through, but at present the difficulties is over. And we're awful pleased to say that the children is in wonderful health, and I'm really proud to have such a family.
I'm very proud to be the mother of such family as this.
Senora Carver, internationally known circus performer, is blind, but she's going to try once again the same feat that blinded her 9 years ago. She's going to jump off that 40-foot tower on the back of her seeing eye horse, Red Lips. Think of it, blinded doing it once, but she'll try it again. What memories must have flashed through her mind? It's a story that amazes us all. A brave lady and a faithful friend. Instead of a bathing beauty parade, this time it's a handsomest lifeguard contest, with the bathing beauties doing the grooming. And on come the Seaside Apollos, to be judged on face and figure by a committee of the beach's prettiest sand sirens. And don't think the girls can't pick out the weak points. It looks as if the judges had found their Adonis all right. There's no question about it. Husky Bob Conroy is the winner. The girls decide he's Tarzan, Adonis, and Apollo all rolled into one.
Shall I say it now? Hello, American children. I come from Egypt, and I am 4.5 years old. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. I wonder if you may suspect this Nicaraguan girl is me? If so, your guess is surely right. And that's the reason I am here, to wish that all your Christmas joy may last for you through all the year. Niños de Bolivia y América, muy felices Pascuas y Año Nuevo. Felices Pascuas y un próspero Año Nuevo. Les deseo a los niños de Guatemala y del mundo entero. Guatemala, my homeland, between two oceans blue, stretches out her friendly hand, and cordial greetings sends to you. And all her children far away wish you a happy holiday. On Christmas and New Year, too, may God bless every one of you.